From Discovery Invest. Discovery is an authorized financial services provider. Mark Barnes, Executive Chairman of Purple Capital, is with us in the studio. Well, you've once again had to report a big loss, Mark. This was for the 6 months to the end of March, was it? End of March.
End of February.
End of February, rather.
Yeah.
And you've now cleaned out all of the problems. It appears as though at last you can start now with almost a clean sheet again. But the share price from around 2 Rand down to 16 cents. I suppose you really do need that clean sheet.
Yeah, I guess we do. Thanks, Alec. I mean, I think I've never seen so many brackets on one page in my life. You know, I've lost more money than I thought I'd ever make. But I guess those are the times. Yeah, we
People
have.
who didn't know about it, what actually? Just a brief recap. How did you lose so much money?
Well, I think we can summarize it like this. You know, GTE, we made a big investment in for two purposes: A, for international diversification, and B, because we still fundamentally believe that derivatives are going to get a bigger and bigger market share.
This is Global Trader based
Europe.
in London.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And you know, we were ahead. You know, we've served notice on the guy that took us in 17 jurisdictions, and we still haven't got him to court. So we lost.
A slippery fellow. How did you get him as a client?
Well, you know, there was a period when we had limited oversight of the operation between when we have FSA approval and when we took it over. And he built up a big position in an illiquid stock, broke all the rules, and when we called on him, he defaulted. And
so he's a crook. There's not a whole lot you can do about that.
Well, you know, I'm sure I've got to limit my adjectives here, but yeah, crook will do. We could go better.
Does he have any assets that you were
well,
able to
you
attach?
know, I think he did have assets. We attached houses and all these kinds of things and planes and what have you, but they also aren't worth so much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We're not anticipating anything to come back from there. So, I mean, that was the first thing. The second thing was, you know, just general market sentiment and lack of confidence impacted on the valuation of Purple, despite, you know, how you count that particular loss. You get more than hammered when someone thinks you're going down.
You made so many good bets, Mark, and you've had to now sell them progressively here and there. Your investment in the bond exchange, Integra, etc. This one that was, in fact, was your biggest bet that you made was the one that actually went pear-shaped.
Yeah, but it's still our biggest bet, you know.
You mean the South African operation will still pull you through?
Yeah, I think so. You know, we made 17 million EBITDA last 6 months, which is compares to zero the 6 months before then. Mm-hmm. The derivative landscape has changed forever, in South Africa in particular. You know, one of the things we mentioned in our results is we are the only derivative trader that we know of that hasn't had a single client default in the last 12 months. That's Global Trader South
I guess
Africa.
when you lose money, you tend to watch what's left a lot closer.
Yeah, you know, if you don't, then what's the point of losing it in the first place?
The Dealstream going bankrupt, did that affect you positively or negatively?
Mixed. You know, I mean, it affected us positively in the sense that a competitor was taken out of the way. But there was a huge surge of uncertainty, lack of confidence in derivatives, lack of, you know, a move to bigger balance sheets. A lot of clients tested us. A lot of clients withdrew their money immediately, and, you know, fortunately our fares were not those of Dealstream. We were able to sort that out.
You have an unusual comment in your statement today, saying that you'd like to thank your partner Ronnie Lubner. For the support that he's given to you in this business. What exactly was that support? Well,
I mean, he put a lot of capital into the company when we had the rights issue. But that's just the money part. You know, it can be, without getting too romantic about it, can be a lonely place at the top of a losing battle. And Ronnie was just a friend, a very wise and experienced person in the marketplace who came into my office often and said, listen, you know, we'll trade through this thing, stick to the principles, rely on your experience, and build. And it's going to take time, and it's going to take effort. But if you actually pull through, there'll be a big picture on the other side. And you know, I needed that badly, and he was a great friend.
What shareholdings do you and Ronnie now have in Purple Capital?
He's got about just over 30%. I've got about 25%.
So between the two of you, this is your ship. And you're happy that it's now stabilized and it's profitable?
Yeah, we are. You know, I think we've moved away from only focusing on our own risk management, which absorbed an enormous amount of our time. But we actually risk manage our clients. You know, so if you were a client of ours and if your margin call was getting close, we'd call you 7:10 in the morning, and we would start talking to you about your position. long before the markets opened. And actually, the way this game is going to work in the future is the big banks, have less and less appetite for this because it requires intense client interaction. You've actually got to know your client. We've gone so far now as starting to get statistically valid observations about our client behavior, because you actually have to, that's what it's about. And I think that it's not a balance sheet that's required in derivatives. It's a deep understanding of risk management and a disciplined. I get the value at risk on in global trade at least twice a day on my cell phone per client for our top 10 clients. It's got to be like that.
Is it like a casino in a way? Are these like big hitters in a gambling operation?
There are definitely people there that come to have a go, and casinos don't make bad money as long as they stick to the house limits. You can't go double or quits forever in a casino.
But you're not backing against your clients.
No, we're not. No.
You're taking a percentage of their turnover.
Yeah, we're in the middle of it. In fact, of course, we've got a hedge, and there's a cost to hedging because you've got to cross the double and so on. But whereas about 6-7 months ago, we would say 85% of our clients were long. We're now starting to see a mix which is more like 60% long, 40% short, which probably means the market's going to go up now. But I mean, in an ideal world, if we had 50% clients short, 50 long, we'd have a beautiful business which we wouldn't even have to hedge. But yeah, we don't bet the markets.
Mark, it's hard to understand the numbers properly.
Yeah.
As you say, there's so many negatives on that page. But if you just took the operating profit level, where you made 15.5 million rand in the 6-month period, are you going to be able to repeat that kind of earning?
More than repeat it.
So if we have a look at the market capitalization, which is just over 100 million rand now, if you can start making 30 million rand a year, you've got a lot of assessed losses that you can write back against. You'll get you should be getting your money back fairly quickly.
Yeah, well, we think so. I've got a few shares. I'll tell you what the other part of it is. There are two parts to that equation. The first one is reducing debt. Anyone who's sitting with a lot of debt at the moment, despite the decline in interest rates, must get it off, because there's a double whammy. When your debt goes down and your profits go up, there's an amazing crossover in the value equation. And for us, the test is really simple. Is your weighted average cost of capital lower than the sustainable gap of the yield that you're earning? And we're applying that to everything we think about now. So with debt coming down, debt's come down a lot, eh? We had this time, August last year, 163 million. After we've done the Axis and the BISA deals, we'll be down to 11. Hey, there's a big difference in the fees that you pay, in the interest that you pay, and in how you feel when you get up in the morning, man. I mean, that's what it's about. When you go there and you have to make money, it's different than when you just have to think about how you're going to make money.
Mark Barnes, Chairman of Purple Capital.
One of the biggest dilemmas